Hey guys, JBRider, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Russian T-55AM premium tank. This is in the Russian Tech T and this is the top tier premium for the Russians. Unlike the others, this is not a 9.0 tank, this is an 8.7 tank, which is very good. I'll get to that a bit later. It is a rank 5, but we all know it's a rank 6, but they put it in rank 5 for reasons, but I'll get to that as well. But this thing is basically a normal T-55 but on steroids. It has more armor, as you can see here. The T-55 does not have this extra armor in the front, so this thing is obviously heavier, but it does have a more powerful engine to make up for that weight. So T-55 and the T-55AM Premium both have the same top speed and they move the same. Now let's talk about the good things with this tank. Obviously this tank has a lot of armor, it has a lot of modifications as well, and if you just look at this thing's just a beast. It looks so damn sexy. But even though it has a lot of armor, you're at 8.7 battle rating, and you're, like, say 50% of the time you're gonna face the Americans, and American top tier is the XM1. And sad but true, the XM1 can go through all of this. I know I'm not gonna use the armor statistic or protection analysis because that thing's a lie. The frontal plate here, XM1 can go through with this normal APDFS shot. It can go through here easy, it can go through here easy. Now these extra plates, you know, these will protect you a lot. It won't go through this, so you don't have to worry about that. Other than that, he doesn't really have to aim for your turret. He can just shoot center of your tank and you're done. I'll show you guys a clip in a minute to show you what I mean. But that doesn't mean this tank is bad. This tank can still bounce a lot of shots. If people don't know where to aim, they'll aim random places and they'll bounce. And the good thing about this thing, I don't know, I know Russian bias a myth, but I think Gaijin did it on purpose that Russian tanks don't get up-tiered a lot. Even with my IS-7, I got the IS-7 with the summer event, this thing almost never gets up tiered. Maybe like a 10% chance you'll face an XM1. This thing's at 8.0. You'll almost never face an XM1. You'll always top tier with the IS-7. And the same thing goes for this thing. Okay, you might face XM1s a bit more because, you know, top tier, you're trying to match it with other top tiers. So you're gonna face some XM1s, but most of the times you're top tier, you're gonna face a lot of 7.7 tanks, American 7.7s, and you might face some ADOs and 8.3s, so you know you're top tier usually. But even if you do face the Americans, it's a lot of fun. You have the potential to one-shot them, but also they have the potential to one-shot you. Now, if you look at the X-ray, obviously everybody sits all nice and tight in the turret. The ammo is stored if you carry only, I usually bring only 20 rounds. If you bring 20 rounds, the ammo is only stored next to the driver. So all these spots can be free of ammo. So if you get shot in the back or something or the side, you won't die immediately. So always carry less ammo. 20 rounds is okay to fill this ammo storage. Now, if you look at the modifications, I think this tank is the only tank that can fire each type of shell in the game. Except for the earlier versions of the Russian strangely AP shells. This thing has Sabo, this thing has smoke shells, this thing has APCBC shells, this thing has APDF SDS shells, it has Heat FS shells, Heat, and ATGMs. This thing can do it all. Helicopters, no problem. You just bring some AT. I actually bring a lot of these shells. Helicopters, no problem. ATGM. Stock, you always want to carry the APDFS shot, obviously. I don't bring this because, you know, you have the ATGM to replace all of these. Smoke shells I bring, and I don't bring Sabo, obviously, because you got the dart shot. It also has smoke grenade shells, which the normal T-55 does not have. It also comes with ESS, just like the normal one. What's also nice about the T-55AM Like I mentioned in my other preview or review video, if you do not have the top tier tanks of that lineup, or the Russians, the Germans, or the Americans, this premium is really useful and helpful for getting the other tanks faster. Because as you can see, I don't have a lot of Russian tanks. I do have I just got the T-62. The others I do not have. So the T-55 is actually really good to use, and it has a good lineup as well. You can use the T-55 with the IS-7. The IS-7 is super powerful, still at 9.0, except we gotta watch out for the XM1 a bit. So if you have the lineup with the T-55, IS-7 if you did the summer event, IT-1, I'm not seeing it's really that popular anymore, but then you got the BMP-2 that can still hold his own at 8.0. You got the T-10M if you want to bring it, and the T-62. Honestly, I would bring the T-62, the T-55, and the IS-7, and that you're good, and maybe a 1 AA. So the T-55AM has a good lineup, so that is also a plus point for this tank. And the best thing about the T-55AM, you'll never face Abrams or Leopard 2A4 or Type 90s. So that is the biggest plus, because with the XM1 and the Leopard L44, you're at 9.0 and you will face the other tanks, which is kind of annoying at some times. The XM1, not so much. The XM1 is just a beast, but the Leopard, you gotta play different because you can get one-shotted really easily. Right now I'm gonna do some quick comparison tests. Alright, so for these tests, I'm gonna quickly check the top speed or not the top speed, how fast we can reach that tank over there, and also check the turret rotation speed. It is taking its time a bit. Alright, there we go. Now for the turret rotation speed. As you can see, the Russians are not the best with the turret rotation speed mechanism, because it takes forever to make a 360. Alright guys, well there we have that. Now the reload is a bit slower than all the other top tier premiums. This one is at 9.1 seconds for me. I remember I think the Leopard, the XM1 is at 7.1 seconds and the Leopard is at 7.7 seconds, which is, you know, they'll beat you with the reload, so don't try to wait for the reload on your gun. It also comes with a few cool camo customizations. Obviously, the late Russian tank always have cool camos. You got a tricolor camouflage, another tricolor desert one, the bicolor desert one. These are the old ones. I don't really like these. Starting with this one becomes complete cool. Late desert, late forest, and the late winter. These are pretty cool. And I got the late summer because it just looks so badass. And that's basically it, guys. That's all there is you need to know about the T-55AM. Is it good in battle? Yes, you can survive a lot, especially if you get up tiered or if you are top tier. Going against the XM1, you gotta be careful a bit, or the Leopard with the Rheinmetall cannon. But other than that, you're just good to go. You'll have no trouble dealing with IS-7s, T-55s, T-54s. The T-54 Bravo might give you a lot of trouble, but you know, that's at 9.7, so yeah, obviously. Now, is this tank worth getting? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get what you're paying for. You can survive a lot, especially if you're top tier. Well, obviously, if you're normal tier as well. If you're going against the XM1, they might get you in one shot, so be careful with that. But other than that, it's fun. It's fun as a good backup because you got a pretty good lineup. A T-62, even the T-55 as your secondary. But honestly, I like the T-62 a bit better. Well, I don't have it yet, but from the things I've seen, what it does to me in game, I see the T-62 a lot. The T-10M, if you like, or if you're still into heavy tanks, the BMP-2 is also a very good replacement, like I mentioned before. And also, like I said, if you need to do some upgrading still, this tank will come out really handy because you got a nice lineup, and that way you can grind out the tanks extremely fast. Alright guys, well there you have it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope this video was informative enough. and I hope it helped you out to make a decision on which tank you should get. For me personally, the best one is the XM1, and then comes this one, and then the Leopard, Premium Leopard. Some people like the Leopard a lot. I don't know, maybe because it's German. It is a cool tank, but gameplay wise, you know, gameplay and real life are a big difference. Playing a tank here is a lot different than playing it or using it in real life. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not a veteran, I'm not a soldier. I just like playing games and making videos for you guys. All right, guys, see you next time. Hope you have a great day. Peace out.